Drafted free agent in 2019, and he's become an integral part of the team's success and has become a fan favorite with his hustle and his energy. Naz wrapped up his most productive season of his career during the 22-23 season. In just over 18 minutes a game, he averaged career highs with 11.5 points and 5 rebounds per game, all while shooting a career best 54% from the field. The Louisiana State product tallied a career-high 8 20-plus point scoring games, a career-high tying 4 10-plus rebound games, and a career-high tying 4 double-doubles. February 26th at Golden State, Naz poured in a career-high 30 points and added a career-best 5 steals, becoming the first Timberwolves player in history to finish a game with 30 or more points, 9 or more rebounds, 5 or more steals, and 2 or more blocks. We'll tip off today's press conference. We'll start with a few words from Timberwolves President of Basketball Operations, Tim Connelly, then Head Coach Chris Finch, and finally, Naz Reid. Tim?
First of all, thanks to Mark and the club. This is an awesome venue, and we appreciate your hospitality. Just super excited. I was fortunate enough to come here a year ago, and instantly I was kind of struck by not just Naz's talent, but his personality. Just a wonderful guy. As good a player as he is, he's an even better person. And to watch his growth from, undrafted player at LSU and his maturation, both as a player and person, couldn't be more fortunate. The best basketball is in front of him. I think he's just scratching the surface of who he's going to be as a player. He's one of the more unique, I think, players that I've been around. Probably as good a handle as any big man I've ever seen. He's just an excellent teammate. He's been completely compliant and team first with any and everything that we've asked. And, I know for organization, we couldn't be more proud. It couldn't happen to a better person. So thank you, and well-deserved.
Yeah, obviously, very excited to have Naz back. Very proud of Naz. Haven't been able to work with him the last few years. I think it's just a classic example of what believing in yourself, hard work can do. Going into the last season, we were real honest with Naz with the acquisition of Rudy, how that might impact him, and he never let it bother him. He always found a way to come out, no matter what his role was. His role changed multiple times during the season, but it just kept his head down, stayed confident in himself, stayed ready, and from the get-go, he was really important for us last year, just kind of getting some energy into our team as we were trying to figure some things out, and then created this role for himself through some injuries. And the most exciting thing about it all is really what we saw right before, unfortunately, he went down with the hand injury, is the versatility to be able to play alongside of pretty much everybody in our roster, which is key to today's game. So we're really looking forward to building on that, growing into that, and just keeping getting better and better like he's been doing since he got into the league.
I appreciate y'all believing in me to bring me back, wanting to bring me back. Like you said before, I'm going to go out there and do what I do best, play hard-nosed basketball, winning basketball, get better each and every time I step on the court. I'm dedicated to the game of basketball and winning as well, so whatever it takes, I'm going to go out there and do what I do best. And, I'm winning. I'm looking forward to, playing some winning basketball moving forward.
We'll open it up to some questions here from the assembled media. We do have a live microphone, so if you could state your name and your affiliation before asking your question, it'd be much appreciated. Chris, get us started.
Chris Hine from the Star Tribune. Naz, what were the main factors for why you wanted to sign the deal when you did and not take it to free agency ultimately?
Ultimately, this is where I wanted to be. I started my career here. I wanted to continue my career here. I've gotten better each and every year here as well. So, it only made sense. I didn't want to, go anywhere else and continue my journey this far. And, I felt as though my teammates, Coach, Tim, everybody's been, great to me and as a person, and then, even coaching me on the court, coaching me off the court as well. So, definitely wanted to, go out here and, play basketball for, this program.
For Chris, did how he play kind of the 5-6 games before he got hurt alongside Cat and Rudy, is that kind of the blueprint for how you want to use him along with Cat and Rudy going forward this season?
Yeah, I think for sure that was the most exciting, basketball that we saw our team play in its entirety all season because we were all healthy. But that alone, the Naz is such a versatile game, and his skill, it opens up just so much lineup flexibility with our team, and whether he backs up at the 4, backs up the 5. Heck, we may even try to play them all 3 together. Just because there's so much skill there, and with the size, and the league is. Everyone says the league's trending smaller, but when you have skilled big players, that's really what where the league I think is headed. So he's a classic example of what a modern big looks like.
Hey, Naz, Darren Wolfson from Channel 5. What were some of the keys to navigating last year, having that career year? After early in the year, there were games where you were playing 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes. How did you overcome that and have the year that you did?
I mean, there's been so much difficulties that I had to overcome in life. I mean, that was just another obstacle. I think it's another, good story to tell with the path of my career. I'm gonna go out there and fight, do what I do best, no matter who's in front of me, no matter the position I'm presented with. I'm just go out there, like I said before, to play hard-nosed basketball and do what I do best.
John Krasinski from The Athletic. Naz, there are people who would be in your shoes who would just go look for an opportunity for more playing time, starting role or whatever. What made it about this team that made you want to stick with what you have here and keep building with these guys?
The growth that I've been a part of, and then players like Ant, Kyle, Jaden, guys like Carl, Cat. Rudy. Just guys like those are good, really good guys, and those guys who are teaching me the game, and who are there for me when I need them, and things like that. So just the off the court aspects, and then obviously on the court, I'm going out there playing basketball. They're helping me on the court as well. I just felt like it's closer than a job, if that makes sense.
Tim, you have other players higher profile, maybe making a little more money and stuff, but is Naz one of those culture guys, do you think, locker room, work ethic and everything that really kind of can make a team go, bring it together?
Yeah, I think he's just a wonderful guy. Again, he's selfless. If he had opportunities elsewhere, but I think his kind of connectivity to the coach and the team and his teammates, how much his teammates love him. I can't tell you how many times throughout this process his teammates were calling let's get Naz done, let's get Naz done. I'm telling them, let's get Naz done, let's get Naz done. I think you can't control makes or misses or wins and losses, but I think you can control the type of people that you have in the building, and he's just a big-time guy. As good as a player is, he's a better guy. So certainly who he is as a person brought us this day.
Tim, in the macro, you do have a lot of money committed to big guys, but when you look at Naz and he's 23 and he has gotten so much better every year, is he one of those guys that you worry would almost haunt you if he got away?
I'm sorry, worry about what?
Is he one of those guys where you worry about him might haunt you if you let him get away?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think at 23 and his skill set, I don't think any of us know what his game is going to look like in a couple of years from now. I know Coach and I are always on him. We think he's going to be an elite defender at several positions. I know he gets sick of hearing from me some of the stuff I know he can be better at, so I think his game's ever evolving, and I think it's really exciting to be part of his kind of evolution as a basketball player, and certainly we'll be better for it.
Naz, were there various points throughout this year where you wondered if you'd be back?
I didn't hear you.
Were there various points throughout this year where you wondered if you would be back here?
Of course. Everybody has that feeling there last year, the contract. You don't know what's going to happen. Everybody has that feeling. So, of course, I definitely had that feeling, but, I stuck to my roots. They believed in me. I believe in this program as well. So we came together and got the deal done.
Dane Moore, Blue Wire. Naz, you came in initially as a versatile player, but you're basically just playing center, not often next to another big. What does it look like to learn or develop skills that allow you to play next to a Carl or a Rudy over these past couple of years?
I didn't hear you.
What does it look like for you? How have you learned to play next to another big when you're on the floor over these last couple of years?
Just being coachable for one, and then just being able to adapt to the next guy in front of you. He might be able to do this, that, and the third. Just being able to read and react, or just being able to play off that person's abilities. Talking is one thing that's going to help you tremendously throughout the game. Just being able to, read and react for the most part.
And then, Tim, you said at the end of the season press conference that all decisions would kind of go through the lens of how it helps Ant. In what ways do you see Naz being able to help Ant on the floor and grow as a player himself?
Again, his versatility on both ends, and I think that's only going to continue to get better and better. He has such a unique ability to handle and play make from that 4 or 5 position, and then just as a teammate, he and Ant are very tight. I think both help each other. To see where Naz was 3-4 years ago, to see where he is now, it's only at that place because of a tremendous work ethic. He's become obsessed with the game, obsessed with keeping his body right. So anytime you surround some of your best players with guys who are as impactful culturally and obviously on the court as Naz, it's you do whatever you can to keep those guys.
Chris, does Naz read and react like he said, maybe as good as anyone else on the team?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Does he read and react about as well as anybody on this roster?
Yeah, for sure. He's got a great skill set, which allows him to be able to kind of control the game with the ball in his hands as well. What he's really done a good job of, which helps him play alongside other bigs, is kind of not changing how he plays too much. I think when we initially started playing him more at the 4, he'd just run to the corner, maybe be a spot-up shooter, but we just encourage him to put yourself in the actions where you can have great skill. He's an excellent passer. I think something that we can actually tease out of him even more and more now that he's got his contract. He can pass instead of shoot. But for sure, yeah, it is, we love when he rebounds and brings it full court, which is just gives another whole dimension. And so, yeah, absolutely, really understands how to play, in space, and that's a big key when you're playing around, particularly other big guys,
Ahmad Hicks, Fox 9. Naz, Tim, this question can go for either of you. What's the significance of having this press conference here at the Boys and Girls Club instead of Target Center in the lobby?
I think my rookie year, I came here, me, Jared Culver, Jalen Noel. We did the same event here, and I felt as though I got a real connective vibe from the children here, and I was able to see the kids, and I actually went through this process as myself, going to a Boys and Girls Club when I was younger, so kind of got to give back as much as I could.
What does it mean to have this press conference in front of all these young kids who may hope to be in your shoes one day? What's your message to them?
Anything is possible. You go out there in any form, fashion of a job, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you can be in the highest position of your ability as long as you put yourself to it. So I think the hard work, dedication, no matter what job or profession you're in, just going out there to bring your all and everything that you have to it.
Naz, Mike Max, WCCO. I know you didn't play in the playoffs, but you've seen Denver plenty of times. When you look at this team and the core team that you've got, the Timberwolves, what's the difference between you and Denver if Denver's the standard bearer right now in terms of where you need to be and how you get there?
I couldn't really hear you. Between us and Denver right now. Maybe just age. I think we could be that team, if not better, in the years to come, to be honest.
Anyone else? All right, that's going to do it. Thank you to Tim Connelly. Thank you to Chris Finch. Thank you to Naz Reid. And, of course, thanks to everybody here at Southside Village Boys and Girls Club for having us this afternoon. Naz Reid, everyone.
You want the water? No,